there, Sheryl here. Forgive me for the informalness, but it's Saturday morning and I wanted to make sure to get this out for you. Because this is a very important topic. It's near and dear to my heart, especially since a client of mine recently experienced this at a pretty high level. So I wanted to make sure I shared with you what I recently shared with her and how it helped her really command a room and protect herself, and also get her point across and have the impact that she wanted and deserved. So if you've ever experienced a bully, I said bully in the boardroom, but this could be a bully in terms of in the highest court of our land. In other words, that is going to be the closest I'm going to make to a political comment, but also a bully in the corporate boardroom or any other room for that matter. It's really important to understand how to set your mindset and how to deal with these type of situations. So here's the thing. There is a lot of emotional and physical fallout from these types of conversations because it is not a lot of fun, and it can actually physically change our physiology when we are in a situation like this. In other words, it can raise our blood pressure, it can cause us more stress, it can actually damage our immune system. And at the end of the day, for companies, there's a huge financial toll because sometimes work days are missed, and it really is detrimental to productivity and all sorts of other things. So this is a big problem for us personally if we're experiencing it, and also too it's important for companies to address because the collateral damage can be pretty costly as well. And consider this: if you're in a group who is marginalized, in other words, if you're a woman in the workplace, or if you're further marginalized, meaning a woman of color or any other group that is further marginalized within a gender, within a group, then, excuse me, this is even more problematic, okay? So while HR is dealing with these problems and hopefully trying to make them better and make them so they don't happen, there are a couple things that you can do to protect yourself and to make sure to keep bullies at bay, and so your voice is really heard and respected and make it more likely that that will happen. So I want to share a couple of these tips, tools, and strategies with you. Now, this is a acronym. I don't know if it's good or bad acronym, but the acronym is WEAP. So that's WEEP, because I don't know about you, but I've been in situations earlier in my career when I've been bullied, and it's actually made me feel like crying. So this was just one way. I don't ever want you to get to that point, but this is one way that I wanted to help you remember to do this in preparation for conversations where bullying might exist, okay, to help diffuse them. So, excuse me, the first one is to warm the room. That's the W. You want to find out if it's with one person or if it's with a group, especially if there may be a bully in the room. Make sure that you find out about them. Do your homework. So in other words, what's important to them? Why do they care about certain things? What might trigger them to be a bully? And what really might trigger emotions in them, and also where are they coming from? What pressures are they under? Whatever information you can get, the better. If you don't know, then do your best to find out, because it's going to help you align your conversation. And we'll be pulling that out and teaching you how to structure those conversations in later videos. And then set your environment. In other words, it's very important when you're going into these types of conversations that you feel very confident. So be mindful now that these conversations are virtual, probably for the time being. You want to make sure that you are wearing something that makes you feel confident, i.e. not your pajama bottoms, but put on something that makes you feel very confident. Also, will you be drinking black coffee and have that ready, or some royal tea, or something that really gets you in the mindset to be very confident? And finally, you can also set your environment by maybe putting some water behind you on a table So if the conversation gets a little uncomfortable or heated, and you feel like you're not as emotionally agile as you could be, or you start to get triggered, then it's always good to have something behind you so you can grab it, take a drink, take a breath, kind of recenter, re-enter the conversation. And then A is allies. Make sure that you have allies to support you. Keep in mind that world-class athletes, even Olympians, have allies. They have coaches, they have team, and you want to make sure that you have that as well. Also, you might want to consider having these so you can talk to them, so they can support you, and you might even need to at some point bring them into your physical space into these meetings as well. And then finally, the P in weep is postponed. There might be times when conversations escalate that you need to bring them to a close. And so the first thing before doing that, you might ask someone when conversations are feeling like they're either implicitly or explicitly, you feel like you're being bullied. You might want to say to someone, it seems like there's a lot of emotion around this. Is there another way you can say that? And then just pause. And a lot of times this self-reflection is going to be enough for an attitude adjustment on their part, but not always. So if it isn't, you want to postpone the conversation, but do it in a very productive way. It's called having a high goodbye standard. Okay, so you want to say something like, it seems like there's a lot of emotion around this. And it seems like the conversation's not as productive as it could be. When is a good time, at the end of the week or next week that we could reconvene? So when you ask a question, you want to make sure that you don't set them up for a yes or no answer. Like you wouldn't want to say, do you mind, reconvening? You want to say, let's reconvene. Can you let me know if, when is a good time next week? Or give them a couple options of the days and times or what have you. So keep in mind that if you are experiencing bullying in the workplace, I stand with you in solidarity. It is my life's work to make sure that you are heard, respected in the workplace and have the impact that you want and deserve. And I am cheering you on always. So keep up all of your amazing work. And I hope this helps you in some way. I look forward to seeing you next time.